Hello, everyone. We have Nevada's aura portrait here. As soon as I close my eyes for this aura portrait, I see it has a very radiating auric form. So there's a lot of white in her field. There's red at the base, almost like a flame coming up, and it curves to the right, and then as like the two sides like radiate out, on the left side there is a light white pink with some yellow around that, and around the as it radiates out on this left side there's some dark navy around that. At the very corners of this painting, that's where it will be. And then on the right, this flame kind of turns, it's at the base. You'll see when I start painting what it looks like. It curves a little bit to the right, and this right radial form starts to take form and move out, and it feels like there's a lot there, so I'll just start there and see how it goes, and we'll go from there. So I start off with a big brush so that I can get get a good base color down of the basic starting colors of the aura, and then from there things get more complex. Yeah, so with this person, I feel like they might have had a more positive, either relationship with their parents, or their parents had a more positive than negative relationship with each other. And this has created this harmonic circle in this aura painting, and it feels like a balance of masculine and feminine energies, but they show up differently than just traditional masculine and feminine energies. They're a lot more the masculine energy and the feminine energy it feels like almost similar, the same in the root of those energies. So it's not sometimes we think male and female is polarity, like white and black, but these masculine and feminine energies within her feel very much like one color, and they're two different pieces of that one color, masculine and feminine. So that's really cool. I feel like this keeps her very balanced in her life, she a certain amount of security in herself when she's expressing herself through what she wears, or how she chooses, what she chooses, you can see how she chooses to, this expression creates a very fluid version of herself. Yeah, and you can see even in this picture, I'm also seeing it looks like there's a tarot deck or some oracle cards on the table, and I guess that could match what I'm picking up in relation to her just choosing what she's choosing, and there's more of a ease expressing these things, just in comparison to somebody who is very insecure with who they are and how they choose to, for spirituality, for example, a lot of people feel insecure to be honest that they believe in fairies, or they believe in different dimensions, even, or even mention the word 5D, they're afraid people will look at them sideways. So I feel like this isn't really the case with her on like a holistic level. Of course, she's a human and things all, we all feel insecure at one time or another, but this I'm picking up is something at like the core of her aura. It's really helping her with this expression and living her life the way that she wants to live it. So as I'm kind of moving around to the far outside of her aura, I'm starting to feel the energy be a little bit chaotic, a little bit like harsh, but a lot of things around her like really inconsistent. Like, I don't know if these people are just a little like erratic, or the way that they act, or how they act. It feels very crazy and chaotic. I don't know if it's like, it's just a lot of fast-paced lifestyle, a lot of, it almost feels a little bit like fun too, though. But it feels like kind of, that young fun that you have when you're, you have nothing to lose and you're just running on hormones and you're like just back and forth and all, like really going wild a little bit. Feels like maybe the energy around her, so maybe the people that she's around, or that definitely feels like the people surrounding her. So this is in her aura, but it looks like she has a very strong, peaceful base, like the center of her aura, like I mentioned before, with this balance, this masculine and feminine like anchoring that she grew up with is like at her core. So it really helps her in these situations and where she is in her life and who she's interacting with. So now I'm being shown to put in the navy blue that I mentioned on the outside of her aura and start putting that in. I have seen this in many people's auras and it all feels the same, and I don't know exactly what this color represents. I'm guessing that it has to do with either negative self-talk or critical energy of other people, communication, negative thought forms within somebody's field. So if there's people around you that are feeling negative towards you or critical, like a critical energy, I think that this is what this energy entails. I'm also being guided to say that it's going to be okay, that everything is going to work out, and that everything will work out for the highest good. Just intend it and keep moving forward, and each step will be shown to you, and there's nothing wrong with you. You're not doing anything wrong. So I do see, as I'm putting the white more and more on this darker blue, darker blue navy, that it feels like, or it's becoming aware to me that by you hearing all of this information, you are taking responsibility for now beginning to create more protection around yourself. Like, you're seeing it as a problem now instead of maybe like coming more into more acceptance of it. And as this happens, you're pulling more protective energies around you to help maintain your core, to help you stabilize. And I feel like, you're more protective of this energy that you're seeing that is really rich and really abundant, but fertile and lights, and it just feels magical. It's like an essence that you hold that other people see and they admire. So seeing this, you're able to create more protection. And I'm feeling some beings that are at your request coming to assist you with this, with protecting your field. And a good person to ask to, this is the being that I always ask to help me protect my field, is Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is one of the most powerful protective beings that I have worked with, that where I could go a full day feeling like a basket case where I don't protect my field, and then before I leave the house, protecting my field, asking Archangel Michael to protect my field, and literally seeing a night and day difference between the interactions, my energy levels, my mental thoughts. Because let's just be real, if energy is real, you're picking, thoughts have energy and they send out a signal, just like just like a satellite sends out, you can't see what the information a satellite is sending out, but it's sending information. The same goes with our thoughts. So we're all humans and we're all created to be able to have thoughts and understand thoughts and energies that get fired in our brain, to to understand those and how to move and operate accordingly based on those electrical signals in our brain. And as humans, we can pick those up in our environment because we're created to understand these signals. And it's energy. Energy doesn't get contained inside of a physical vessel. It extends outward. So we can hit these different thought forms on our daily walks or where we are, where we work, who we interact with, their parents, etc. And that's why it's important, you can work with Archangel Michael to help protect your field, clear your fields, maintain your own vibration in your field, etc. And this personally has helped me navigating the world as an empath and a highly sensitive being. It's been invaluable. So I feel like there's an enormous amount of white light coming in for you in this aura reading. And I feel like, so I've been told before that my paintings can hold a transmission for people to entrain with and, change their vibration by holding a frequency visually, like a map that they can subconsciously and be affected by vibrationally by having it near them and in their space. And I've had a reading before where somebody told me that I actually do Reiki on my paintings, and that's not the first time I've heard that I'm doing energy work while I'm painting. So I do think that you are in need of realignment, and that this painting will help you to, I feel I'm getting patch up some areas. I do think you're a light worker, and I do believe you have a big mission here on Earth, and you are very capable and very strong as a soul, and anyone around you can agree upon that. And you really are an anchor for people around you, holding that light, anchoring that light for the people that need you and surround you. As you can see, things can get pretty complicated within someone's aura. At the beginning, I get very easy blocks of colors to begin with that will lay the foundation for the aura. And then as I get further along, you start to see this weaving happening. Sparks of color come in. And this is really showing the interaction between the energies within the aura. And even though the core that you saw in the center was a radial design, that was just the beginning. That was just the core of her energy. And as it progressed, you started to see it, like the dark blue was highlighted to show me that, and the chaos energy was there to show me that like these elements were around her. And after you learn that, just like any storybook, like you get more information, and then it starts to make sense, and then you start to see how these different colors interact with one another and how they look as a whole in the process of moving around and changing through like alchemical experiences and realizations that one might have within their life. So it can get pretty fun, and really, you can get taken away by making the patterns and picking up the energy and feeling where everything connects. But ultimately, I will just push myself to a certain point where all of the energy starts to drop, and there's nothing else pulling at me to put on the painting or change or shift or add. So yeah, thank you for watching this aura painting and reading, and I really appreciate you guys listening and enjoying this. It's super fun to make, and I've been wanting to do this for a really long time.